Yeah, I have just. I'm just
Yeah.
totally intrigued by this kind of stuff because I have an interest in it.
Right.
What kind of articles do you find in a magazine like this? What are they about?
We have articles on the history of the Middle Ages and Renaissance. We also have articles on role-playing in general, reenactment.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Right. Costuming. We do interviews with jousting troops. We do interviews with musical groups that play period music.
Sword making, sword play,
armories.
food,
Culinary
Vladimir.
arts. Yeah, we just did
Vlad the Impaler. And, there's
So
all
Dracula.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a whole
and,
world.
then we do, this typical series of reviews of books, Renaissance and medieval books, and
Right.
music, and websites, and games, and movies. And we also,
She's got it
Renaissance
covered.
fairs.
Got
in every
it
issue.
covered. She's got the Renaissance market locked
Yes.
up pretty much, I think.
I'd say.
Wait, you guys came here relatively recently, didn't
Yes.
you? I remember when you
1996,
first arrived. Yeah,
January.
Yeah, that's when we finally made the move.
How did that happen? Where were we coming from?
Well, we're from New Haven, and the story that brought me here, short little story.
Yes.
We were sailing on a 50-foot sloop from Greenwich, Connecticut, going up to the coast of Maine. It was going to be a 2-week-long cruise.
Right.
And we came into Nantucket Sound and ran across some shoals. The seas were a bit choppy, but the bluefish were hitting on the other side of the shoal, so I asked Captain Alex Howard if he'd drop his sails and I could throw a line overboard. He says, sure. So I landed into a nice bluefish. I'm bringing it up, and one of my shipmates went to gaff the fish. And the line snared, and I was behind her, and I said, Dee Dee, are you okay? And she says, I don't think so. The plug went into her face. So we had to call the Coast Guard, and they sent out a cutter, and they met us at Strait Wharf. And as we're coming up, this is about 15 years ago, as we're coming up Main Street, I just had the feeling this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm going to move here one day.
Right.
And so that was the start of it. But we came here by accident.
Yep. And then what made you decide? I know New Haven is a beautiful and thriving metropolitan area. Nuts. But what made you, what was the catalyst that made you one day look at each other and go, it's time?
Well, that's a long story. We were looking at moving to California, and we were going to do that, and I realized I'm an East Coaster, always have been.
Right on.
So we moved out here. We didn't want to stay in New Haven, and now we spend a month and a half or so out in California every year.
What's in California?
I grew up in California.
Oh yeah? How do you like living on the East Coast? You like it out here?
Actually, I really don't like the East Coast, but
Really?
if I was going to live anywhere, it was going to be here.
No,
Because
this is an interesting energy here. You say you're an East Coast guy, which I can relate to completely. My mom lives in California. I've been to California. California's a nice place to visit, but I love living on the East Coast.
Right.
And now you came right out and said you don't like the East Coast. How does that, where's that energy coming from?
Right. Well, growing up without humidity and intense heat, that was my biggest complaint with the East Coast. Secondary was the cleanliness aspect. New York and New Haven tend to be very dirty, and the crime is very awful.
That's sad.
And so coming here, you lose.
Not like that bastion of crime-free living, Los Angeles and San Diego, and San Francisco, California.
Right. And so this is the perfect place, really. You don't have the humidity. There's relatively no crime.
Right.
It's clean.
Right.
People are friendly, small.
It's a great community here.
And you guys have settled into, I think, what a lot of people would say is an enviable lifestyle. I mean, you're working at what you love to do. You're doing it from your home. You work for yourselves. You live in the most beautiful place in the world.
We're very fortunate.
Feel good about it?
Yes.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, it's good to talk to you.
All right.
And, watch yourselves on Channel 3 on Thursday.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
See you guys later.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care.
That was great.
All right.